Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Breaking right now, a chase ends in a crash, sending multiple people to the hospital. Why police were after this pickup truck.
Bankruptcy battle. A General Motors supplier could force shutdowns for the automaker. What the company is doing to keep that from happening.
First, the storms roll in and then roll out. Fast-moving downpours hit Metro Detroit. Good evening. It tops our news at 11. There was plenty of rain and lightning, but no major damage.
However, we are hearing of some downed wires and power outages. We'll get to those in a moment, but first let's check in with Ben Bailey, who had a busy night in the Local 4 Weather Center.
Yeah, watching these storms, Carmen and Karen, they weakened considerably since what we saw earlier this evening. It's just some widespread rain now, mostly on the east side, north of 94, and heading out towards Port Huron. Don't even see any lightning strikes here in the last 30 minutes. These are the storm reports that we have gotten so far. Most of these across Livingston, northern parts of Washtenaw County and southern Oakland. Out in Milford, roof damage to a home and a tree down on top of a car. But what you don't see on this map is this. Here's a picture that we've got in from Walled Lake. We had multiple reports of a water spout or a funnel cloud actually hitting the lake. It's very difficult to tell from this picture. You can't obviously see rotation, but down there on the water you can see some sort of disturbance that may have contacted the water. So it is possible that could have been a funnel, but no reports of any damage from that. As far as the rainfall goes, a lot of us got quite a bit, especially there in Livingston County. There are spots where the radar estimated an inch plus of rain, and obviously still falling here on the east side. Another round of storms coming tomorrow, could be stronger. We'll look at that threat coming up in a few minutes, guys.
All right, thank you, Ben. And as we said, those fast-moving storms brought down power lines, keeping families in one Detroit neighborhood from getting into their homes.
Mara McDonald is there live. Mara.
Karen, I'll tell you, the first wave of the storm came through, but now it has started really pouring out here again. And take a look. You see all the neighbors hanging out here on the middle of the street? There's a very good reason for that. There are down power lines, live power lines on both sides of the street here. As a matter of fact, take a look and a listen. Neighbors shooting the power lines as they started sparking behind their homes and going down almost like dominoes. The Detroit Fire Department had to be hauled out here over concerns of fires that had started to actually spark up in the trees. Firefighters got out here, they got those taken care of, but the reality is you've got down lines on both sides of the street here and people don't want to be around it. Take a listen.
And as we walked to the door, we seen all the sparking across the street. So I told my daughter to go over there and tell them it's something sparking behind their house. So when she went over there to tell them, we was all out here and we called the fire department.
Back here live, and you know, it's not just this isolated block. Take a walk with me, and Tamat, let's turn off the light so people can get a feel for this. It's really dark out here. You've got blocks and blocks that are without power out here tonight, and neighbors are really hoping that DTE gets out here quickly. We're live on Detroit's east side tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, thank you very much, Mara. Now to breaking news over in Melvindale, where a police chase ends in a crash, sending 3 people to the hospital.
It all started with a stolen pickup truck. Tim Pamplin is on the scene and picks up the story from there.
A crashing conclusion to a high-speed police chase in Melvindale tonight. This is Outer Drive and Allen Road. There you see the black Dodge pickup truck, the subject of the pursuit. That vehicle reported stolen out of Belleville. During the chase, it collided with this little Ford Focus here, sending the occupant of that vehicle to the hospital. The driver of the stolen vehicle, unresponsive. Now, that vehicle belonged to the chap there in the blue shirt. He went on Facebook, said, "Anybody seen my pickup truck?" Someone said, "Sure, it's in a wreck." Right here, he came over, couldn't believe his eyes. He didn't want to go on camera. He said, "That's his livelihood right there. He's a roofer, self-employed." Says he's lost everything. And that's the scene in Melvindale tonight with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
The Barron County Courthouse in St. Joseph will reopen tomorrow after Monday's shooting that left 2 bailiffs dead. The sheriff says shooter Larry Gordon was handcuffed in the front, but not shackled when he wrestled away that gun and shot 4 people. The bailiffs, along with a deputy and a civilian who survived. Gordon was facing charges of criminal sexual conduct, assault, and kidnapping. He was shot and killed by other officers.
The first of the funerals will start tomorrow for the 5 officers shot and killed in Dallas. Today, an outpouring of support from the nation came for the families at a memorial service. President Obama, Vice President Biden, and former President George W. Bush all in attendance for an interfaith tribute service.
Another community torn apart, more hearts broken, more questions about what caused and what might prevent another such tragedy.
President Obama paid tribute to Redford Township native Officer Michael Krol as well.
Michael Krol answered that call. His mother said he knew the dangers of the job, but he never shied away from his duty. He came 1,000 miles from his home state of Michigan to be a cop in Dallas, telling his family, "This is something I wanted to do." And last year, he brought his girlfriend back to Detroit for Thanksgiving, and it was the last time he'd see his family.
Officer Krol's funeral will be in Dallas, but he'll be buried here in Southfield. After the prayer service, Presidents Obama and Bush met privately with the families of the victims.
Well, they don't like the direction the city is going, so they packed a planning commission meeting to do something about it. Many who attended tonight's meeting have lived in Royal Oak for decades, and they fear the city is quickly transforming from a quiet single-family community to a busier condo community. Kimberly Gill was there, and Kim, they are passionate about their neighborhood.
Karen, they are passionate about their neighborhood. They do not want to see a new proposed condo/townhouse unit being built in their community. They say it would do nothing but cause problems in terms of traffic, in terms of noise, in terms of what it would do to the infrastructure. And they say the city is not listening to their concerns. And they packed this meeting tonight to talk about that. And here's what happened. The area in question sits here at the old St. John's United Methodist Church at Midland Boulevard and Rochester Road. It's just north of 13 Mile Road in Royal Oak. It's a quiet neighborhood, and people who live here say they want to keep it that way.
Let me ask, how many are opposed to this? Would you stand?
At tonight's meeting, a couple dozen people stood in opposition of the proposed 28 townhouse multiple family dwelling.
Have you asked the fire department? Have you asked the police department? What are these high-density projects doing to them and their response times? In response to most of our concerns, only vague and generalized answers have been given.
And if this project happens, residents say they would be the ones left bearing the brunt of everyone else's good fortune, including businesses with increased customers and the city that would benefit from the new property tax revenue.
The material benefit to the city is only being measured in dollars and largely ignores residents' quality of life.
Now, again here, the big issue is they feel like their voices are not being heard, primarily because they say the city needs the tax money and they want that tax revenue, so they're being ignored. As far as what happens next, that remains to be seen. We are live here in Royal Oak. Kimberly Gill, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Kim. Well, former Detroit City Council President Charles Pugh is back in Detroit tonight and in a jail cell. Earlier today, he was arraigned on 6 counts of criminal sexual conduct involving a teenager. Pugh is accused of molesting a 14-year-old boy back in 2003 and 2004. He's been held on a $500,000 bond, and last year a jury awarded $250,000 to a young man who accused Pugh of sexual harassment.
Well, there will be no charges against a retired Detroit police officer who made questionable statements in the Devontae Sanford case. State police believe James Tolbert committed perjury in that investigation. He is on record saying Sanford drew a sketch of the scene where 4 people were murdered. But years later, Tolbert admitted he drew part of the sketch himself. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy says the perjury can't be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Last month, 23-year-old Devontae Sanford was released after spending 8 years in prison. Tonight, his attorneys say Sanford would have testified in the case, but was only given a short notice. The prosecutor's office dropped off a subpoena late Friday for Sanford to testify on Monday afternoon.
Well, General Motors is waiting to find out if a supplier's bankruptcy filing will disrupt production. Massachusetts supplier Clark Cutler McDermott filed for bankruptcy protection last week. It supplies insulation and interior trim for GM vehicles. Now, GM does not have another supplier for those parts, so any interruption could cost the automaker millions of dollars a day. Both companies will be at a hearing tomorrow to decide what happens next. Well, a new twist in the controversial shooting of a Minnesota man.
The driver looks more like one of our suspects.
New recordings reveal why police stopped Philando Castile the night he was killed. You'll hear them.
It started and ended in less than 60 seconds, but it had plenty of drama. What happens to the passenger in this high-speed chase? Coming up.
But first, these moms mean business, and they're good at it.
It's just a lot of really smart women doing things that fulfill them as well as takes care of their family.
How they're balancing family with business and defining success on their own terms.
Making money doing what they love.
It really isn't a hobby business. I'm much happier with how things are going right now.
These entrepreneurs finding success on their own terms. They're mompreneurs, women running their own businesses and raising families.
Now, some might think that what they're doing is just a hobby, but these women are serious about being successful at work and home. Tonya Patton knows how to host a party, especially the girly ones.
I'm a children's party planner and entertainer. We host birthday parties for girls.
Spa parties, princess parties, and diva parties in your home or in her My Girly Party studio in Farmington Hills.
It really isn't a hobby business, and I get that a lot because, you know, initially it was just doing parties for friends.
I think there's a stigma.
Lara Galloway is the mom biz coach and author of Moms Mean Business. She coaches mompreneurs to define success for themselves and achieve it.
We are bootstrappers, right? By and large, a lot of us are starting businesses that, you know, we just are doing with our own means. So we're not necessarily connecting into the incubators, the startup community, the small business conversations that are happening. We started it in our basement or in our kitchen, and our family and friends found out about it, and we made a little money and it grew. So we don't get the attention that we need and the resources.
Who's got another great question for these ladies? Way in the back.
Lara is connecting these women, co-hosting the first ever Mompreneur Summit in Metro Detroit. With two other mompreneurs, the summit tackled topics including work-life balance, the unsexy side of business, and marketing.
It's just a lot of really smart women doing things that fulfill them as well as takes care of their family.
I think mompreneurs are such an underutilized resource. I mean, these are people who are making a business and a family happen, so they have already commanded things like time management, like fiscal management. They have a lot of abilities, but sometimes they lack the confidence, or sometimes they lack the knowledge that there are resources there that are for them.
From 2007 to 2016, the number of women running businesses rose by 45%, 5 times the national average, according to a report commissioned by American Express Open. Lara says success for mom entrepreneurs is personal and wants women to take away
knowing what that success is for you and what will genuinely make you happy, and then actually putting yourself in action to that goal.
Yes, I did. What time are you available?
Kelly Dillaha worked in higher education administration for 20 years. Now, she's a mompreneur.
I was trying to take care of my mom. I was working 60 hours a week and trying to raise my own children. I didn't have time to run my own errands. I kept thinking, I wish somebody would just go to the store for me. It'd be great if someone just picked up the groceries.
Her business is called Fat Cat Concierge Services.
I run errands for people. I get their to-do list done. I shop. I jokingly call it schlepping because I do deliver things for people. So if they need to get something from point A to point B for their business or personal, I do that as well.
She used the summit to network and get advice from other mompreneurs.
Looking for some tips from other people who are running businesses of how they kind of balance out meeting their family's needs and continuing to be successful.
Women helping each other.
It's okay to be a mother, be a business owner, and grow at your own speed. There are businesses that have grown from just a hobby, successful businesses. So no idea is too small not to be able to take it to another level and grow it.
Some very creative and hard-working women.
Yeah, that My Girly party was a real hit, wasn't it?
It really is. It's taken off. It's a great idea if you're looking
and
for
nice to see
something.
them coming out of the woodwork and getting
Yeah.
that kind of support in the network. Yeah. Too. Well, here's a look at what I'm working on for tomorrow night. When you're in the fight of your life, everyday tasks can sometimes be too much. But one woman is trying to ease the burden a little.
That is such an incredible gift. I cannot even begin to say. It actually changed my world.
The gift she's giving lets women battling cancer focus on getting healthy.
It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done in business.
It motivates you. It encourages you.
Meet the woman behind a program that helps thousands around the country, including right here in Metro Detroit, tomorrow at 11.
And as I said at the top of the newscast, some serious weather moving in tonight.
You know, we needed the rain, but I don't know if we needed all the drama along with it. What do you think?
It kept everybody on their toes.
It did.
But most of those storms, in fact, all of them have weakened. We're just seeing a little rain on the east side. Tomorrow could be different, though. Severe risk for tomorrow has actually been increased to slight for about half of the viewing area. That's the shaded yellow areas. So western edges of the viewing area could be seeing a little bit more potent storms tomorrow than what we saw today. Still a marginal risk, which is what we were under today for the east side. And I think that those storms are going to fire a little bit earlier than what we saw yesterday, or earlier today, I should say. And we'll check the timing out here in just a second. It's going to be steamy in the morning. Temperatures very close to where we're at now in the mid-70s with higher humidity than what we even saw during the afternoon. And then rising to the mid-80s at noon and heading right back to the 90s in the afternoon. I want to show you the dew points. This is the humidity and how we measure it. This is where we started out in the morning. And then notice as we get through the day, you can see these colors go from lighter green to darker green. Those dew points now starting to move towards 70 degrees, which is pretty oppressive air. Even for us this time of year. 73 in Metro, that's the current temperature. Right now the winds are calm and things are dry there. Still looking at least some rain on the east side, but what a beautiful shot on storm pins after the storms rolled through in Pinckney. This is what downtown looked like with the sun sort of illuminating those buildings out there. Appreciate that shot. And as we take a look at the line of storms that came through, you can see it how it really weakened within the last hour, and still getting at least some moderate rain here on the east side, especially St. Clair County, northern Macomb County. As that exits here within the next hour, will be dry overnight and probably for the first half of tomorrow. But we're looking for an earlier storm formation in the afternoon, probably 4 o'clock or so. We'll start seeing a couple of these fire. And again, they could be stronger than even what we saw tonight. Whatever's out there is going to exit by midnight. Then we'll be dry for a while. But I think we'll see some morning showers and possibly a rumble of thunder. But these don't likely or won't likely be severe on Thursday early. Cold front comes through later in the day. That's going to change things quite a bit for the upcoming weekend. Humid. That's all we need to say for tonight. 73 degrees, so very close to our current temperatures for our morning lows. Back to the 90s tomorrow afternoon with thunderstorms. And after we get rid of that morning rain on Thursday, it's dry for the weekend and much more comfortable too. We'll get some less humid air in here, get the sunshine back, and things looking A-OK for Saturday and Sunday.
Cool evenings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
Well, you know, this looks Photoshopped, but it's very real. We'll tell you where an eagle tried to take off with an actual child when we come back.
Also, new audio recordings may reveal the real reason behind the controversial Minnesota traffic stop that ended with the shooting death of Philando Castile.
Tonight, new audio recordings are raising new questions about the shooting death of Minnesota man Philando Castile. In the Facebook video seen around the world, Castile's girlfriend says police told them they were pulled over for a broken taillight. But in police scanner traffic, the officer is heard telling dispatch that Castile may have matched the description of a man who robbed a convenience store in the area.
Checked IDs. I have reason to pull it over. The two occupants just look like people that were involved in a robbery. The driver looks more like one of our suspects just because of the wide set nose.
That officer ended up shooting and killing Castile. His girlfriend says it happened as Castile reached for his wallet while at the same time informing the officer he was licensed to carry. Earlier today, President Obama called the family to offer condolences.
Well, the driver of an Escalade tried to lose police but ended up flipping the SUV, sending her passenger flying. An Alabama deputy started chasing the stolen Escalade when the driver cut off a white car while attempting to take the exit ramp. The driver lost control and flipped. The passenger was thrown to the ground. He is in critical condition tonight. The driver has serious injuries. Police say they found meth inside that SUV. She snapped the picture at the right moment when an eagle came swooping down trying to snatch a boy.
Take a look. It was during a bird show at a park in Australia. Look at that. The woman who took the picture says the boy was running a zipper up and down that was possibly irritating the wedge-tailed eagle. And it flew straight at the bird, the bird flew straight at the kid, trying to grab him with his talons. The show was immediately canceled. We understand the boy did suffer some minor injuries, but boy, don't run that zipper up and down, Bernie, whatever you do, if you're ever around a
don't have to tell him twice.
Eagle.
Yes, you do.
There you go.
Yeah. More than twice.